Over the past 60 days, I have done cold exposure every single day so far, and in this video, we're gonna go over some of those benefits. Woo, let's go.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking that sounds absolutely terrible. But like anything in life, there's no light without dark. There's no joy without pain. You can't have a rainbow without a little bit of rain. So if there is suffering to the process, then there must be some benefits. And if you don't believe me, take it from Andrew Huberman.
Deliberate cold exposure has a very powerful effect on the release of dopamine in our brain and body. There are a couple of mechanisms by which one might experience increases in testosterone as a consequence of deliberate cold exposure. Brown fat can increase your overall core metabolism. In other words, the number of calories that you burn per day.
And if you don't believe Andrew Huberman, take it from Gary Brecka.
So what are some of the benefits you'll get from just stepping into a cold stream of water for 30 seconds to a minute and working your way up to 3 minutes? Well, first of all, when your body gets exposed to cold water, three things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to have a vasospasm. Your arteries are actually going to spasm down. They're going to clamp all the blood out of your extremity and try to force it into the core and also up to the brain in an effort to really save your life. Your body doesn't know how long you're going to be exposed to this cold water, so it tries to protect you by clamping down these the peripheral vascular system. This is actually exercising your vascular system. You're also going to get an endorphin rush, a nice flood of dopamine, which is proven to last several hours longer than using other methods of enhancing dopamine. So you're going to get a nice dopamine elevation. So it's going to elevate your mood. It's going to improve your emotional state.
One neuroscientist, one human biologist, both say cold exposure is extremely beneficial. So the question is why? Why have I decided to commit to doing cold exposure every single day? Well, for a couple reasons. One, I wanted to post more on TikTok. Let me do something that I can do consistently every single day. And the first thing that came to my mind was cold exposure. Now, I am no stranger to cold exposure. I have done videos on this in the past.
For the next 7 days, I'm going to be taking cold plunges every single day.
Let's go, baby! Woo!
And I have done people's morning routines that involve taking a cold shower. And personally, I love cold therapy. I don't necessarily love the action of doing the cold therapy. I like all the benefits that come with it. But this year, I wanted to be as extremely consistent as possible. And we have done cold exposure every single day so far without missing a day. Now, to start this cold exposure hiatus, I didn't just necessarily buy a cold plunge and start jumping into it 3 minutes every single day. What I did was starting off by taking a cold shower. And I did that every single day for a month straight.
All right, today is January 1st, 2024. And part of my New Year's resolution was to do cold exposure every single day. All right, it's day 2 of doing cold exposure every single day. Alrighty, today's day 3 of taking a cold shower, doing cold exposure every single day this year. Alright, welcome to day 30 of doing cold exposure every single day.
After I was able to prove to myself that I was able to do it for a month and I was committed, I then invested into a cold plunge and started going from there. Now, how long or is the ideal amount of time you should do cold exposure for?
Although there are a few in humans that point to a threshold of 11 minutes total per week. So that's total throughout the week, divided into 2 or 4 sessions of 2 or 3 minutes or so.
And I submerse myself in cold water for 3 minutes minimum, 6 minutes maximum. Try it. I promise you will not be disappointed. It will quickly become your drug of choice.
So you have one person, Andrew Huberman, that says at least 11 minutes per week. And then you have Gary Brecka that says 3 to 6 minutes per session. Personally, I like Gary Brecka's method a little bit better because I can just do 3 minutes every single day and not really worry about it and not miss any days. And it hits that marker of Andrew Huberman's, which is 11 minutes per week. Now, besides all the physical benefits you get from doing cold exposure, the main reason that I love doing this is for the mental discipline. It's the act of doing something that you don't want to do, which makes other tasks that you don't want to do during the day a little bit less daunting. For example, at the time I'm recording this video, it's like 10:30 at night. I want to go to bed. I really actually don't even want to be up making this video, but I want to also get this video done. So I'm kind of just using the discipline that I've gained from the cold exposure, applying it here right now, and doing something I don't want to do or I don't feel like doing, but doing it anyways. And this transcends to all different areas of your life. If you want to start eating better, and it's a little bit of a challenge, doing the cold exposure helps in terms of being more disciplined. If you want to read more, that requires more discipline. If you want to be going to the gym consistently, that requires discipline. Any big task in life that you want to do will always get started by motivation, but will be sustained through discipline. And so for me, that's personally the reason why I'm doing cold exposure every day and why I love it so much. The other physical benefit that I have noticed is the recovery. I recently took on a new challenge this year, which was boxing. I've been going twice a week, every week since the start of this year. And I'm also lifting weights 4 days a week, as well as trying to incorporate a conditioning day on the 7th day. And if I'm gonna be training so much, I need something that's gonna give me that extra edge when it comes to recovery. And honestly, in terms of recovery, the cold plunge has definitely helped. This has been a video of doing cold exposure every single day so far this year. I do not plan on stopping and getting all 366 days this year of doing cold exposure. And yes, 366 because it's a leap year. Just had to clarify that. This has been a 60-day update, and I will see you guys on day 90.